This is part of my diary, my digital diary. I know some things to be true. Sharing my thoughts, putting myself out here, it's vulnerable. It attracts all kinds of people. I just continue to remind myself that there's only one person that I would care about their opinion. So all the others, it's not important in my inner world. Someone in my family that I love dearly, they just sent me invitations for their wedding reception, and it looks so beautiful. And you know, we're close in age, but we're on completely different life paths. And I look at this invitation, and I ask myself, do I feel the need to compare when I know my path, my trail is so different? Do I need to criticize myself and think that because I'm not at that stage of life that I'm behind? No, I don't need to. I don't need to rush things. I'm in a different stage of life. I can celebrate someone else in their union of love without having to criticize myself for not aligning with my love. My love and I, we're on different paths. We're on a different timeline. Just because we're on a different timeline doesn't mean anything negative. That's what I remind myself. I've definitely been hyperfixating posting on TikTok. I look at all these videos and I'm like, I really did that. And I'm talking and showing all kinds of versions of myself. Oh my. And then I think, do I just be quiet now? Maybe this is it. I can document the whole med school process. Or maybe just make little videos here and there as an update. I don't need to do it every day, just do quarterly. The reason why I keep thinking about building some presence on TikTok and social media is because I do want to have my own private practice. I recognize my TikTok, my social media is not the most professional state that it is. It's not giving professional med student, future doctor whatsoever. But it is real. It's real. It's what I'm going through right now. I still have a lot of lessons to learn, a lot of growth ahead of me. And I'm trying to find that balance of being who I am, what I am right now, and just navigating and figuring it out. I saw a TikTok video and this guy said, just be quiet. Stop getting in your own way. What? See, this is why I don't like listening to TikTok, because as a woman, I feel like there's all kinds of messages and signals. Be quiet. Speak up. Why aren't you talking? You need to be quiet. And then at my graduation, I heard this girl next to me go, yeah, closed mouths don't get fed. So I'm like, I just need to not be concerned what other people are saying and trust that what I do organically, what feels right to me, is what's right for me in that moment. And I'm doing my best. It's not life is right or wrong and this or that. What? It's like I said before, it's like if I compare myself to one of my sisters or to any women out here who are in a different stage of life than I am, does that mean what I'm doing is wrong? No. I'm on a different path. I'm on a different path. I think building a social media presence and platform, it's gonna go through all kinds of phases. I think it's like childhood, like you have the like cute, baby fat, you're like awkward, you're trying to navigate things and like create some kind of presence and feel comfortable interacting and engaging with the camera. You're experimenting with fonts and colors. In my case, I love colors, and I this whole professionalism thing about like things needing to be black and white and beige and mauve, and I'm like, I am not a sterile princess whatsoever. When I have my own practice, I might go into some kind of subspecialty. Who knows? Maybe in a hospital. But there is this feeling that at some point I'll have a cute little community clinic or be part of one. Maybe partner with someone. Things are not going to be all white and sterile. They're going to be colorful. Okay? Science, there are scientific literature reviews out there that prove that when you incorporate colors into a healing space, it does something to the brain. Other people may think, oh, all the different colors and la la la, that's immature, or it's this or that. At some point I'll be like, whatever, I'm a fucking doctor, okay? And I believe that adding a little purple and orange in this clinic space will make people feel a little bit happier about their situation and not feel like they're in a prison cell. And this whole concept too about like money and high value, and I believe I'm a high value woman. I just believe I'm a different font, Oh, you're not a high value woman if you do this and this and this. That's your definition. Okay? You're not a high value woman unless you're wearing these type of shoes and you do your hair like this and you only engage with people in this kind of way, and this and this and this. And this is why Queen Kumi created her own world, her own Shangri-La. Because other people's definitions of what their worlds of royalty, society, status. It did not align with my truth. Didn't align. And I realized I am miserable. Mental health plummets when I'm trying to fit into other people's definitions. It plummets. I start attracting things that don't align with me. I know myself to be the happiest when I'm at home, when I'm outside in nature, when I get to make something from my own imagination, craft something by hand, make homemade food, listen to the birds, go swim in the beach or the pool, and wear whatever I want. And that's high value. That's high value to me. Reconnecting with my ancestors' ways. That's high value to me. I feel like all I've had to do is like decolonize my brain, decolonize these beliefs. That's what TikTok really feels like. It's like a bunch of people trying to colonize your mind. With all kinds of beliefs and propaganda. And it's creating all these insecurities and creating all these paradigms and resistance and conflict that you end up paying for their course, paying for them to coach you, paying for a product. I think, there's some products that are super simple and basic. Because I know even on my TikTok, like at some point I will share products. But they're things that people don't need. Like I'm not gonna frame it as like, you gotta have this to solve your problems because there's something wrong with you. No. Hey, I like this. If you want it, you can get it. That's it. Do I need to go on this whole elaboration? No. I think about my grandmother. Her skin glowing, beautiful, and I was like, Grandma, what have you been doing? What have you been using? She's like, here's this tub of Nivea that I've been using for the past like 20 years. Like, I don't know, I guess it's doing something, maybe. You want some? That was it. It wasn't, are you tired of your skin looking like a scary scarecrow? No, like let's stop with all of the psychological warfare to getting people to buy things, okay? I know there's competition out here, but let's go back to credibility. And I realize that's why I'm pursuing being a doctor, because there's a lot of people on these apps talking and they have no credibility. No credibility. I met someone once upon a time. I'm not going to say who, but they told me that they were a life coach. They started being a life coach at 24 years old. I'm like, what are you doing being a life coach at, who are you life coaching? 3-year-olds? Who are you life coaching at 24 years old? I'm 27 and I'm still like, don't ask me, okay? Don't ask me. Maybe when I'm 80 and 90, okay, fine. That's why I go to the elderly facilities. I go volunteer there and ask them questions, because I'm like, all these other people out here that seem to know everything. I listen to my parents, I listen to my elders. I have this whole thing right now too about wanting to build more generational wealth and just having a better relationship with money. And I know once I'm a physician, like, I'll be making good money. Like, I'll be fine. It's really about cutting down on expenses, just being very simple. And I feel like I'm there. I've stopped shopping. Well, I still shop, but I don't shop like I used to. Like, I don't go to thrift stores anymore, like the way I used to. I have more than enough. So now I'm like, okay, time to redirect the energy. Redirect the energy, pare things down, downsize. Get comfortable with less. I had my fun, I had all my adventures, and I collected all my treasures. But now I'm at the point where it's like, I don't need to go off and collect things. I can just plant fruit trees and paint and go to the clinic. Like, I'm at the settling stage now. Sure, I can go off and travel and do adventures when I want to and I feel called. But I really do feel like I'm in the nesting stage now, where I'm ready to just plant roots. And also, I'm in the most transitional phase of my life because I'm applying to medical schools and I have no idea where I'm going to end up. And then once I finish medical school, I'm going to go off to residency, and same thing, I don't know where I'm going to end up. So I'm still moving around, and I feel like for some people, they would be so excited about that. They would think like, wow, that's such a privilege. Like, you get to go off and do that, and you know, the world is big and expansive. But I just feel like right now, internally within me, what I really want is just to live in a cottage and plant fruit trees and watch them grow and be big one day and eat the fruit. It's nice to know that that's really what I want. I don't want to have a Bugatti or a Ferrari. I don't want to chase the next Louis Vuitton purse. I don't need tons of followers on these platforms. Like, a lot of things that other people chase, and I'm not looking down on them, it's not that, but just value. Like, a lot of the things that other people value, I don't value that. What I value is really, really simple. And honestly, it's affordable. I can accomplish this no problem. Aligning with the right person, that's something that is highly valuable to me. And that's something money can't buy. And I realize this is why I have to be verbal about it on social media. Because even if I meet someone in the wild and maybe things are kind of boring and there's no spark, they're a nice person, we talk well with each other, I'll share my social media with them so that they can see what it is that I'm actually working towards, building, with the intention of sharing that life with someone. And then that person can decide, like, okay, we're friends. I'm not that person. Or maybe I am. So it's nice to know that I have a space. I have a trail. I have a clear area within my life where I can reveal things that I find people don't ever take the time to ask. Or maybe they just didn't know. They didn't think that far. I think far ahead. So, and I've noticed that with dates, I would get frustrated because people would ask very superficial things. And I realized it was because they wanted a superficial connection. And that's okay. You know, people's capacities and what they're looking for, what they want in that moment is just wasn't aligned with me. But I remember I would get frustrated because I'm like, why are you asking me the questions that I crave a person to ask me? And I'm not going to tell you and control you and manipulate you into doing that. No, it's like, oh, okay, you're not the person. But that's really what my courtship application is about. It's like I'm asking those deep questions that I crave someone else asking me. Because I'm very much like, let's get to the point, okay? Let's see if we're compatible, and then we can go have fun and run in the forest and the fields together and, like, not be wandering in our minds. Like, does this person think I'm worthy? Does this person believe that, like, I'm good enough for them? Or, like, la 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 la, you know, there's just, everyone has their own internal insecurities and their own questions, and sometimes people don't verbalize them. And so this courtship application is really about that. It's like creating a space where it's like, hey, it's time to verbalize this stuff. Be honest with yourself. You may not be in alignment with Moonbeam, but at least through this courtship process, you became more clear of what you want and who you are. That's beautiful. That's powerful. Your attraction to me was a catalyst for you to sit down and be honest with yourself. You don't need to take me out on fancy dinners and dates. That's for later. I don't want to find out this stuff dating someone 6 years down the line when I'm emotionally attached and I've been spreading my legs. No. We're learning this stuff now. And and this framework just, I feel within my whole core, my whole being, it's like, yes, of course. Because when it comes to school, whether it's undergrad, graduate school, medical school, they don't let you in the doors until they know all this information. They want to know what kind of person you are. They want to hear your experiences. And it requires facing yourself. It requires slowing down and asking yourself over and over and over and over again, does this path align with me? Is this what I really want? It's terrible when people get into relationships, get into marriages, and they feel like they're trapped. I don't want that with my partner. No. We become clear of our alignment as the foundation. There's no questioning about that. At my graduation, there was this jock, retired jock, who was giving this speech talking about, and this is, I guess, a story from the Bible, how a storm can reveal the foundation of a house, whether that house was built on sand or on rock. And I want a connection, a soulic union where our foundation is built on rock, not on sand. Not on sand where the next storm and uncertainty comes through and it washes away and everything breaks apart. No. And now I truly understand the whole structure of religions. Because religions, often than not, already come with that preset, like a suburban home, that preset foundation. Two people who believe the same thing, their parents and families believe the same thing, they've been operating with certain customs and rituals for hundreds of years, and they're very concrete about that. And so when those two people come together, there's no miscommunication of like expectations and what you do and what you don't do. All of that is very clear. But as an Afro-Indigenous Creole woman, I am a hodgepodge of so many different cultures. Raised by a single mother in California, raised by an unusual father who taught me Buddhism and Hinduism. You know, like my whole life is very unconventional. So navigating this world trying to meet someone is going to be unconventional. Period. Understanding each other, we have to build our own language. We have to build our own foundation. We build our own traditions and rituals because I'm not a preset type of house. I'm not a preset type of being. And going on TikTok and, oh, women are like this and women believe this and women... First of all, I'm not even on TikTok scrolling like that. So if you think that I am like all the other women and you're going to throw me in that bucket, that's... No. And I wouldn't do the same to the person that I align with. I'm not throwing people in buckets and assuming they're all the same. Because I don't do that in my practice with medicine. I recognize people are doing all kinds of things and thinking all kinds of things and they're in all kinds of environments that could be triggering certain health symptoms. So I can't go in treating everyone the same. I have to go in each room with a patient, recognizing that it's a unique case. Even if the diagnosis is common, simple, they're a unique case and I must be fully present for them. So yeah, realization for today. Peace and blessings.